here's some more of that SEAL Team 6 stuff. I posted on Facebook and they shut that down. They took it down, said it was fake news, but it's not, guys. It ain't fake news. Don't let Facebook or any other platform tell you so, because it's not true.
He was all excited, and he said, "I can become." His staff advisor was saying, "You can become the next president if you help Allen bring Bin Laden back." We discussed that we were going to give him a share of the rewards for justice money, which is $50 million. He was all excited, but then he said twice. He said, "I cannot ask permission from Leon Panetta to work with you to get Bin Laden out of Iran, but I can ask my good friend Leon Panetta if he has any objections." You're still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. And so he spoke to Leon Panetta on 2 occasions. We got it back in writing and verbally that Leon Panetta told him, focus on North Korea only. And in the second conversation, he said, do not pursue Bin Laden in Iran. Now,
I'm sure that.
yeah. Now, I have had daily discussions and negotiations with the highest level of the Iranian government. It's been supervised by my attorney so that I'm not breaking the federal laws on subverting the policies of the U.S. State Department. I have had 88 pages of correspondence translated and delivered directly to President Ahmadinejad. In this correspondence, I am analyzing and discussing 6 scenarios for Bin Laden's transfer to U.S. custody. I'm discussing 5 concessions from the United States and analyzing them. We have proof that Ahmadinejad has received the material. There is one man at the United Nations who's been designated in the Iranian mission to the UN to deal with me exclusively. I'm putting together a bipartisan coalition to go to Iran to discuss Bin Laden's transfer to the United States.
Well, you'll never have that happen because our government won't let that happen.
You were very astute. Yesterday I had a conference call with Senator Susan Collins' people, and it included Brandon Milhorn, who's on the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, also Robert Strayer and Molly Wilkinson. My request to Collins is that we get Collins and Lieberman and you to accompany us to the Oval Office to tell the president that this is a ticking time bomb, and if they will not, that he's got to designate you and Susan Collins and Lieberman to negotiate with Iran. And if he will not do so, we will go public about this in a way, because we've now determined without any doubt, I've got the proof, that Hillary Clinton's fingerprints are all over this policy. She has actually inherited the policy from the Bush administration and enlarged the... Hillary Clinton.
Oh, Hillary, yeah.
There were 3... What's that?
I'm going to the airport now to pick up Brian Ettinger, who's one of my partners. Brian is Joe Biden's closest friend, was his first staff director. Wait till I pick him up. I would ask you to call me back. Let me have a conference call with Brian in the car with you. I'm in my car, just myself, and I'll have Brian. He just called me, which means he landed. So I'll have him in the car in 15 minutes.
You want me to call you in 15 minutes, sir?
Call this number back, and you'll be with myself and Brian Ettinger.
Okay.
Ettinger is Biden's closest friend. He meets with Biden monthly. He was his first legislative director, and he's an attorney. More importantly, Brian is the unpaid chairman of the Organized interagency organized crime task force for the U.S., which he does for Biden, which means he works with all of our agencies. And Biden sends him on secret missions, the most recent of which was to Pakistan, without the State Department involved. Now, you can't mention that while I have Brian on the phone, but I'm telling you that to give you an idea of who he is.
Yes, sir.
So call me back in, he just called, so he's probably getting off the plane now. Give me 15 minutes and then call back.
Very good. I will call you in 15 minutes, and also, sir, privately between us, if we can work out a cooperative agreement, I will share a significant percentage of the rewards for justice.
I've always said that. And you know, Alan, let me say this. You told my daughter it was about money. It's really never been about money. You know, I had my daughter's house invaded by the FBI. You've never had that done. They did that to my daughter that you talked to 2 weeks before my election, and they never talked to her. And that intimidation and that threat, I know they've talked to you, but you've never had that done publicly. That was done to me.
Yes.
My book will be out this year, which is being written by a U.S. attorney,
Yes.
23, who is Brian Ettinger's best friend, because he wants to bring out the truth, which is going to rock this country to its roots. So that's been my concern all along. The 5-year statute on being able to do anything against me ends this year.
I'm a big supporter of you, sir, and I never wanted to offend anybody, and forgive me for calling your daughter.
No, I thought you talked to her, but, you know, you told her that it was about money. My daughter's house was raided by the FBI 2 weeks before. That's what it's about.
I see.
It's about me not wanting my family abused.
I understand, yeah.
They never talked to her.
Yeah.
They raided her to create an incident to get me out of office.
Yes.
Partly because I was dealing with you. I don't know.
Well,
I know the CIA set me up because I know the names of the people in the agency from other friends. So it's not, I mean, obviously I can't work for free, but it's more about my stability and my security and my family's security. But let me have this call with Brian.
yes.
It's now 11:35 Eastern Time.
Yes.
Call me back at 11:50 when I have him in the car.
I will call you at 11:50.
Thanks, Al.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So that was the first one, and now I'll show you the second one here. Get it up.
Kurt, it's Alan Perot.
I'm going to put you on the phone with myself and Brian Ettinger. I told you who Brian is. He's a good friend and a trusted partner of mine. He has access. He doesn't get paid. He does this as a favor for Biden with the interagency organized crime task force that works with our agencies.
Yes.
But he's also very close to Biden on a number of issues. He was his former staffer. I
Excellent.
trust him with my life, and we're business partners. So I'm going to have you, I've told him about you. You don't have to go through all the background about who you are.
Okay.
But I want you to tell him the most recent situation, and then Brian and I are going to talk about it, because we're going up to New York together. So we'd like to put you on speakerphone now and introduce you.
Yes.
Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Let me put the volume up. All right, you've got to speak loudly. This is Brian Ettinger. Yes, sir. How are you?
Very well, sir. How are you, Brian?
Good. Speak very loud, Alan, so we can hear you. We're in a car. And Kurt told me about, I guess, the latest incident was with Governor Richardson, and he went through your background and who you are and the people that you previously contacted, and he indicated that you were going to try to get Susan Collins and Lieberman united together to go in and see to brief the president or the vice president about the situation.
You are correct.
And I understand you're into the preservation of falcons. I'm sure you do know most of the royal members of the royal family because that's what they hunt with is falcons, as well as Ben Laden used to hunt with falcons.
Well, sir, I worked exclusively for President Sheikh Zayed, the late president of the United Arab Emirates. I lived with him and his family for 20 years. I also trained falcons for the Saudi crown prince before he became King Abdullah. Yes, falconry is the Rosetta Stone for Al Qaeda. I met Victor Boot in Sheikh Zayed's falconry camps, and recently, between November 2004 and up until recently, my team members have met Osama bin Laden 6 times inside Iran. We have repeatedly notified the U.S. government and only received, first we were ignored, then we were obstructed, and then we were threatened.
No. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. There's a friend of mine who's an international hunter, and he hunts with falcons with the royal family of the UAE, and his name is Saeed Khan Karacha.
Yes.
I don't know if you know Saeed, but he takes them in the Himalayas to go this mountain goat. They go hunting with the royal family there.
Yes.
And he told me about a year ago that, because he has a house also in Quetta, he told me that he knew recently that bin Laden was in northern Iran, and that he's an American citizen, and told people at the embassy, and they ignored him like the plague. I haven't told you this, but on my most recent trip to Kuwait, I was with my 2 closest friends there, Sheikh Mohammed, who's the foreign minister, deputy prime minister, and former U.S. ambassador, and Sheikh Saud, who was the ambassador during Desert Storm.
Yes.
Who was George Bush, the father's closest friend in the Middle East.
Yes.
And he's a very close friend of mine, and we were having a private dinner with his son Noah, who's another really close friend of mine. And we got to talking about bin Laden. I said, Sheikh Saud, where do you think he is? He said, oh, Kurt. He said, there's no doubt, he's in Iran. Yeah, I just told Kurt, I said, no, the better way of doing it, if Susan Collins and Lieberman are on board, I wouldn't go see Obama, I'd go see Biden. And Brian can arrange that. Brian can arrange that directly, Alan.
Here's the problem, sir. We have identified with documentation 3 mechanisms used by the Bush administration to covertly engineer bin Laden's house arrest inside Iran. We have identified 2 mechanisms used by this administration to continue the legacy. And Hillary Clinton's fingerprints are all over this, and Leon Panetta's fingerprints are all over this. We will have tremendous opposition.
But yeah, because I told Kurt that he is being protected by us. We don't really want to get him. We want him under the radar screen because he basically made a deal that he's not going to hit us here in the U.S.
Well,
I don't know if you guys understood that or not, but Bush, they wasn't trying to kill Osama bin Laden. He had him on house arrest in Iran. And all these wars, they said that they were going after bin Laden and Al Qaeda was lies. They were getting oil. And you can look that up. That's true too. But like I said, Facebook won't let you post it. They take it down. They say it's fake news. But anyway, you can go here and let me see what I can get here.
It would be my pleasure and my honor to bring this material to President Trump. There's a massive amount, terabytes, documents, video, audio. It needs to go to the president.
I will do everything that I can to get this video.
And now joining me is Anna Kate. Anna has personally seen and heard the evidence firsthand. She was there when the information was transferred to a person of.
And you can go to these two sites. The Next News Work, I'm sure you know him, Gary Franchi. And this is Anna Kate. You can go to her website and get a lot more details. I I'll let you listen to this a little bit here.
Of influence in the United States government. Anna, break this all down for us. This is huge news. What are the implications for Obama, Hillary, Brennan? What did you hear on those audio recordings?
First of all, thank you, Gary, for having me on. I want to say this is the most explosive information that Americans and the entire world will ever hear. I have to say, these men are heroes. Alan, Charles, Nick, they are American heroes. It's an honor to even be a part of this. I was not expecting this at all. I was attending American Priority Conference in Florida. We're at Trump Doral, and they were the last ones to speak. Save the best for last, because shockingly, they gave this presentation, dropped this Benghazi bombshell on all of our heads, and we're all wondering what in the world just happened. I came up to honor these wonderful men. They're Christian men. They're spirit-filled men. As a Christian, I wanted to honor them as American patriots and heroes. And they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to help release this right now. Would you help us?" And so I jumped on the bandwagon. We got to my room right away, put the stuff out there. They showed me a lot of the documents. I heard the audios. I heard even more audios this morning. Gary, it is explosive. The audios that they have, I can't mention some of the names, but I'll tell you the biggest names in intelligence, the biggest names in the Obama administration, Brennan, Clinton. There's so much. It ties into Joe Biden. There is so much here. What this administration has done is absolute treason. Now, we all know, and not all of us actually in America are aware, that something was wrong with Benghazi. Okay, there were red flags there, and there was big red flags with SEAL Team 6 who took out Osama bin Laden. It was interesting timing right before Obama's reelection, how this bin Laden raid happened. But turns out that all of these stories, they're all linked together. This is the best kept secret in this country until now. It is time to come forward, and I'm so blessed that this man, Alan, who has an extensive history in the Middle East, over 20 years working intelligence in the Middle East, who, regrets some of the things that he has done, but has come forward as a Christian saying it's time to release this information. He has thousands of files, thousands of documents that are in the hands of these whistleblowers. So it's a team effort, and a lot of media sources have this information. As you have said, a congressperson has received this disc last night. I was there. It happened right in front of me. We're about to see some explosive things surface. I'll tell you a little quick preview of what it's about. Obviously, you have Nick No, who is a Benghazi whistleblower who reached out to Charles Woods after his son died in Benghazi. He was a sniper up on the roof in Benghazi. His father, Charles Woods, never knew what happened to Tyrone Woods. He was lied to by the Obama administration, telling them that they have done everything that they could to protect those men, which was a bold-faced lie. They did not. And Alan, Charles Woods explains it in his presentation, which is up on my YouTube if you want to see the entire presentation. He explained what Obama wrote him a 3-sentence letter, Gary, a 3-sentence letter completely lying to him. And what happened was, after Charles went on different interviews and it went viral, there were intelligence people that reached out to Charles and said, that is not what happened. You were lied to. This is what happened. Benghazi, Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration, they were sending weapons, Stinger missiles from Libya to Syria, and it was going through Benghazi. And they allowed all those men to be taken out because of what they knew. And he also found out, in addition to that, which is insane, he found out more information about the SEAL Team 6 with Osama bin Laden, which is what is all of this is coming out. It's all connected together.
So from what I've been able to gather so far, listening to the whistleblower himself, looking over the different articles that have already been published, in conversations with people, with yourself, other sources, what I'm able to gather here is that the entire operation to take out Osama bin Laden was orchestrated with Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton goes out. She sends out SEAL Team 6. They don't tell Obama. They say, Obama, you're going to have to deal with this because they've been hiding Osama bin Laden in Iran. And apparently, I mean, even CBS News punted a story back.
And Iran knew about it.
And Iran knew about it. They were hiding him there. Back in 2010, CBS News punted a story because they thought it would be harmful to Barack Obama. So it was actually known, but they dropped the ball. So what ends up happening is you have the SEAL Team 6 goes in, Hillary orders the hit, and then Iran sends Osama bin Laden down to that hideout where he was supposedly hiding, but then they switch him out last minute.
Yes.
SEAL Team 6 goes in there, and they kill the decoy. And now they go up in the air. They finish their mission, but now they all know that they didn't kill Osama bin Laden. But America, everyone's celebrating in front of the White House that very moment. So now you've got a serious problem on your hands. And Iran says, guess what? We're going to tell the world that you lied to your people unless you send us the money. Is that basically what we're talking about in a nutshell here?
In a nutshell, that's exactly what happened. And the implications of this, the administration in cohorts with Iran protecting bin Laden. And I have to say, I just heard the audio clip this morning of a congressman, he will be named, I won't name his name right now, who is not a good guy, who is on these audio tapes with Allen talking about, well, let's hold off killing Osama bin Laden until the time is right so we can use him as a trophy. The word trophy wasn't used.
You heard a congressman say that.
Yes, I did. I heard it. I don't have the file. They have it. It's being released. It's given to the congressman last night. Media has it as well. They're hopefully soon they'll release it. But I heard this. I heard that on the audio that they said, hold Osama until we're ready. And then what happened was Iran last second, like you were saying, last minute decided to take Osama out. And so there was a decoy, a double, whatever it was. When the SEAL Team 6 team came in to kill Osama, they had direct orders not to take the body back home. You saw with Saddam Hussein, it was all over the place. His pictures were everywhere. They took the body, they did a DNA test, confirmed it was Saddam Hussein. But with bin Laden, it was never happened. It never happened. They told them to basically throw his body parts over the mountains, which in the news media, they said it wasn't, they dropped his body in the water, which by the way is haram, which Allen explains, having lived in the Middle East over 20 years. He said, that's haram. When you bury a Muslim, you bury them in the ground and their head faces Mecca. There is no way that they would ever, as a Muslim, and John Brennan, being director of the CIA, would know that because he's Muslim himself. He would know not to ask them to drop it off over the mountains. So the Navy, the SEAL Team 6 knew what was going on, and I'm sure they knew they were in big trouble. And obviously they were all slaughtered and all left to die by this not this administration, by Obama administration. And what happened, like you said, Iran on audio tapes, it's going to come out, of making deals with the Obama administration and Joe Biden's administration, saying, if you do not send us $152 billion, we will release this information and you will not get reelected. So what did Obama do?
You mentioned that money, but I also heard Perot say there was $2 billion that was also earmarked. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but please continue.
No, that's exactly what I was going to get to. Exactly. So there was $2 billion in cash that was sent from America to Iran. That $2 billion on audio is recorded. I haven't heard it, but I know we have it. Is that the administration said that $2 billion cash is going to go back to the Americans, back to the politicians, in order to keep their mouth shut. So they sent, $150 billion, but $2 billion in cash, so it can come back and take care of the people who are keeping this massive treasonous secret.
So $2 billion gets redirected. Of that $153 billion gets redirected back to the United States. I can only assume that some of the people on that phone call were recipients of that dirty money, perhaps that congressman, perhaps John Brennan, Hillary Clinton. What are your thoughts?
That's right. And actually, there's also a lot of documents that points Clinton Foundation with terrorism in the Middle East, and also McCain's foundation also implicated. This is explosive. And once the congressman is going to go through this evidence, there's a plethora of it. Once he realizes that this is legitimate, that this intel is coming from a source who is credible. Not only that, Gary, but there are other operatives who have confirmed this information, specifically to Charles Woods, which I'm sure the congressman will speak to as well. So the implications of this is treason. Hang them. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, but you are a treasonous traitor. Gallows, hang on the own gallows that you have set for us, our Americans. This is you. In America, we protect our military men. We protect them. We don't let them die. We don't call off search and rescues. We don't call off CCO missions to rescue them out of Benghazi. This is absolutely disgusting. And I have a feeling that the mainstream media is not going to want to cover this, but they're going to have no choice because this information is already viral. That's why we released it last night. It went viral. The American people want to know what's going on, what has happened under our noses, how much were we lied to. We want to know the truth. It's time to know the truth. And Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration have known that there is a chance that this will come out. There is a hot chance this will come out. And that is why they never wanted President Trump to win. He wasn't supposed to win, according to them. They were trying to steal it from him. That's why they're trying to impeach him. That's why they're doing anything, even crashing an economy with a pandemic, COVID, to make sure that he doesn't get reelected. He will get reelected in Jesus' name. And when these documents do come out, when the congressman asks to hold hearings, subpoenas will come out. I'm ready. I don't know if you got your popcorn ready, Gary, but I got my popcorn ready for justice in this country. This 2020 has been crazy, but hopefully it's full of justice.
And I want to look at your Twitter here. You say a member of Congress received a majority of the documents last night. You also said a well-respected general that you all know and love said everything that came out is spot on. So you have a high-ranking general who's confirmed all of this already.
Yes, this high-ranking general confirmed it with Charles Woods. He spoke to Charles Woods this morning and said everything that you have released is spot on. This general is going to be named, I'm not going to mention his name, but a lot of people know who he is. He's very well loved. So spot on. Hopefully this is the October surprise people have been rumoring about for years, but this is it, Gary. This is it. And that's why I want to ask everyone that's watching right now to share this information with anyone that you can, your liberal friends, your lefty friends. Let them have a moment to break this down in their minds before it explodes on them on national television. And I hope it does. I don't see how they can get away from this, Gary. There's, first of all, I have to say, with the amount of audios that I have heard, they can't have any excuses. There is no justification for what was caught on audio, pictures, documents that John Brennan signed. There's too much information for them to deny that this happened. Way too much. So I don't think it's a surprise that Kamala Harris pushed, getting rid of nooses and for treason after the Jussie Smollett case. I don't think it's a coincidence that all happened. We're about to have the most insane revelation of American history treason, the biggest that we've ever experienced in this country.
Now, what do we know about the whistleblower himself and how he got the information, his role in it all? I understand that he was actually a falconer. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, he was. How cool is this, Gary? He was a falcon trainer. I mean, who does that? He's a falcon trainer. I can't tell you much about him, but I will say this. He has been working in the Middle East for over 20 years, has very high-level connections in the Middle East. And as you could tell by watching his video, he looks like a wizard. But, he has to blend in. So he's very credible. The Obama administration know very, very well who he is. They're very familiar with him. Now, these recordings were literally recorded by Allen. Some of them were not, but most of them were phone calls, conversations, documents that he was privy to because he's working in the Middle East, and he has a lot of this information for a long time. But I will say the phone calls that I have heard, the majority of them are Allen on the phone with these congressmen and very high intelligence agencies.
So some more background, Anna. Perot said that a double agent provided DNA to a CIA station chief that it was bin Laden in Abbottabad, and then they sent in SEAL Team 6, and they only told Obama about SEAL Team 6, the kill mission, after it was over. And then the radar was put back up so that they could not go back. It was a one-way trip, he said. And he says, we have witnesses who say that Hillary and Panetta were threatening Obama, that if he didn't go along with the kill mission, that they would go to the press and he would not survive politically. That is when they pulled him off the golf course after it was over. The architects that he states, the whistleblower states, were Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, and Leon Panetta. SEAL Team 6 killed Osama's double, or a decoy, based on one of the wives who screamed that is why they didn't save the body. They threw the body parts over the mountains, and John Brennan told everybody to lie. So
that's right.
This is huge.
It is. It's insane. And I want to have one little correction there about when Obama found out. From what I have heard, what they have told me, and what is in the interview as well, Alan said that well, actually, this is in the interview. They told me privately that this is. Obama found out when it was too late for him to say no. The SEAL Team 6 were already on their way when Obama found out, and Clinton wanted this raid done, and apparently they had a feeling that Obama was going to say no to it for some reason, and there's some kind of blackmail there. I don't know if that's going to come out, but they sent these guys out from the Department of State, sent him out, and they told Obama later, while it was already too late to say no, and everything else he said was correct.
So Obama was briefed after the mission had already begun. But what's really bizarre is that Hillary called this mission. She's the one who was the architect of this mission with Brennan. But last minute, the Iranians double-crossed and they pulled Osama out, which then created a massive problem for them, because now you have SEAL Team 6. Everyone's celebrating, like I said before, in front of the White House that Osama bin Laden's been killed. And now the Iranians go, guess what? Pay up. Pay up. I mean, who knows, like, to the extent of the architecture of this entire operation, maybe that was the plan all along so that they could get billions of dollars funneled back into the United States. I don't know. I'm just drawing out these different conclusions that could potentially be on the mark.
It's a good question. I don't know if they wanted to if they necessarily didn't want Osama to be there, but he was being heavily protected for a long time. We knew where he was. The point is that Obama used him as a trophy kill to get reelected, and they were sitting on intelligence. They could have grabbed him anytime they wanted. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know that he's not there and that he wasn't there when they got there. So it's a good question. I don't know if we're ever going to find out that information, but it will leave it to the American people to decide what really happened.
I'm going to pull up your Twitter account again here, and you said you've got thousands and thousands of people. Oh, you also were a contestant on Survivor. I remember that. That's a really unique story there. So I want people to make sure they go to your YouTube channel as well to get this entire. I mean, I started watching this, as you can see on the screen here. This is the Benghazi Betrayal, Charles Woods and Nick No at AmFest USA. Now, this is the article I find to be very interesting. CBS News, 60 Minutes, spiked story on Osama bin Laden in Iran. The White House feared the story could have negative impact for the Obama re-election. So this was already known. People knew that he was hiding out there and he was being protected.
Sorry, my computer chargers. My computer's about to die. I missed that last question.
Well, I was just bringing up the point here from CBS News, 60 Minutes,
yes.
And this was already known, but now we have a major whistleblower coming forward. I know your computer's about to die, so I don't want to lose you. But Anna, thank you for taking the time to come on with me today and to break this news. We're going to continue to follow this story. Any final thoughts before your computer dies?
Final thoughts are this. Pray for these people. Pray for Alan Perot. Pray for Pray for Nick No. Pray for Charles Woods. Pray for these men and pray for our congressman that has these documents. Pray for the media to release it. Pray for this to go absolutely viral. It is already viral, and we don't even have all the documents out yet publicly. It will be slow drops. We will see little by little what has happened. And I'm telling you, it's going to explode everyone's mind, especially, I should say, including the Democrats. I have a feeling they're going to try to say this is fake news, but they cannot deny the voices they will hear. They cannot deny the documents that are going to come out. Again, they never thought that Trump would have won, and they never thought or thinking that these documents would ever come out. Pray for Alan's safety. He is out there in the Middle East. So again, he's just sorry. He is ready to be transported to a different area. I'll just say that, but just keep him in prayer. Okay.
Anna, thank you so much. We certainly will do that.
There you got it, guys. That's some more of Anna Kate is bringing this to light. And, it's terrible that we have a government that would do that to their military. They're still Team 6. But we have to support these guys in every way we can. These SEAL Team 6 is the whole entire military protects us, but our government don't protect them. They sent them in there, took down the radar, and had them all shot. The one dude was on the roof of the embassy over there, and they shot it with a missile, a ground missile, and killed him. All these guys died just to protect the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, John Brennan, and who knows how many Democrats. And you wonder why they're trying so hard to get Trump out of office. Because they know it's going to come to light. All this stuff that's happened in Obama's and Bush's administration is coming to light. And they know it, and they're going to be running scared. But we got to do something about the FBI too. The Director Wray needs to go. That's another story. Hey guys, I thank you for watching, and please share this, get this circulating around so we can support the families of this SEAL Team 6. This stuff's breaking open, guys. It ain't gonna be long till it's wide open. Have a nice day. God bless, guys.